All right, boys and girls, here we are. We are on our fall math box packet, page number 8. And this is, again, another one on place value. Rounding to the nearest 10, 100, and 1,000. They put the number 2 on there because we did this one yesterday or earlier today. Again, that's just rounding to the nearest 10, the 100, and the 1,000, which is going to be the same for here. Our whole top section, though, is going to be just rounding to the nearest 10. So let's start with that first. Again, when we go over our rounding rules, first is we want to locate what we're rounding for. Rounding to the nearest 10 would mean we have the, let's say, hundreds, tens, ones. So we're going to locate our tens column first, okay? Once we locate the tens column, we're going to look next door, okay, which means the ones column. Then we're going to find out, are we going to go 5 or more, raise the score, and go up to the next 10, or 4 or less, let it rest, which falls on that number. Okay? So, let's start with our number 19. We locate our tens column first, which is our 1, right? And then we're going to look next door. Now, we're either going to raise the score, or we're going to let it rest. So we're going to look at the 9. I'm going to put 2 little eyeballs on there again. Now the 9 says 5 or more, raise the score. So since we're going up, the next number above a 1 is a 2. Very good. So that is going to be the number 20. Okay? Now let's do this one. We have our number 18. Again, we're going to find the tens column. We're going to look next door at the 8. Now, we're either going to raise the score or let it rest. Okay? 5 or more, raise the score again. So this is going to go also to the number 20, right? Okay, so let's look over here. We're not, just because it has 100 doesn't mean that's going to change. We're still going to look at our tens column. Remember, we're rounding to the nearest 10. So we look at our 8. Now we have to look next door at the 9. The 9 tells us whether to raise the score or let it rest. So 5 or more, raise the score. So we keep the 3 and the 300 on this one, but the 8 goes up to a 9, right? 7, 8, 9, okay? So 390. Again, all of these in the tens column, every one will end in a 0. 245. So we locate our tens column, look next door. Now again, you might say, oh, there's a 4 there. The 4 says let it rest. No, we're looking at place value. A place value, the 4 is in the tens column, right? We look at our 5 to figure out whether we raise the score or let it rest. So 5 or more, raise the score. So this was going to go up to 250. Okay, locate our tens, look next door. The 7 says raise the score. 105. So we locate our tens column, look next door. 5 or more, raise the score. So the 0 goes up to a 1. Right? 1 more than 0 is 1. Here's a 9. Look at this. There is no tens column. What are we going to do? This is going to pretend there's a 0 there. Remember, on this side of the number, we can write zeros after zeros after zeros. We just don't do it because we would be writing zeros forever. So we look next door. 5 or more, raise the score. So this is going to be the number 10. 167. Locate the tens column. Look next door. 5 or more, raise the score. 170. Tens column, look next door. Oh, look at that. It's our first one. 4 or less, let it rest. So we're down to the 10 on that one. So we still have the 3 in the hundreds column, but we're going to fall back down to the 1. So instead of raising it up, we're just going to let it rest at what it's at. Okay? 23. Locate the tens column, look next door. 5 or more, raise the score. Nope. 4 or less, let it rest. So it's just going to fall to the 20. Okay? So if you notice, every single number in the ones column for the tens is a 0. Every single number in the tens column is either going to be the number that it is, that you see, or it's going to be one number more. So this would never be a 7. This would never be a 3. That would never be a 2. It's always going to be the number that's in the tens column or one number higher. All right, let's zip on down here to the hundreds column. Same rules apply. We're now going to look at the hundreds column. Okay, we're going to look next door at the 5. 5 or more raise the score. So we are up to a 500. 779. Locate the hundreds. Look next door. 5 or more raise the score. 800. 125. Look next door. 4 or less, let it rest. That falls to the 100. It's going to rest at the 1, okay? 652. Locate. Look next door. 5 or more, raise the score. And here we go. 774. Locate. Look next door. 5 or more, raise the score. Let's do one more. Locate. Look next door. 4 or less, let it rest. Now on the hundreds, you notice every single number ends in at least 2 zeros, right? Every one of these. Every number in the hundreds column, the first number for all of the 3-digit numbers, is going to either be the number in the hundreds column or it's going to be one number more. That depends. If it's 5 or more, raise the score, it goes up. 4 or less, let it rest. It stays the number it is. Now let's look down here at the thousands column. So locate the thousands column. Look next door. 4 or less, let it rest. Locate. Look next door. 4 or less, let it rest. Locate the column, thousands, right? Thousands. Look next door. 5 or more, raise the score. Couple more, okay? Locate, look next door. 5 or more, raise the score. Last one. Locate, look next door. 5 or more, raise the score. Okay, boys and girls, I think we're getting the hang of it. But finish that up. Check your answers the best you can. Okay, remember you can stop, rewind, fast forward, rewind, watch it again later. But check them out. If you have questions on this, let me know. All right? Thanks, kiddos.